Hey, and welcome you beautiful people. Now, in today's tutorial, I am going to do some RPG hearts. Okay? I know my little hearts on screen isn't exactly beautiful, but it's not really a textured tutorial. I mean, seriously. Yeah. It's for programming. And it's prototype art. Now, before we get too far into this and everything else, this project right here with the hearts, only the hearts, will be available in a link in the description of the video. Now, it will be free to download. You'll get a little source file that is, a Unity package like you would presume. Now, it will be like a little sponsor link that will have advertisement on it and everything. It's because, well, YouTube's, revenue really sucks. I mean, basically, I probably don't even get a penny a view for probably something like this. So, I did a link that will just show an ad, and then, the channel gets paid. It's no big deal. But I just wanted to warn you. That way you're not like, oh, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. You get this for free. So if you do not want to sit here and go through the entire video, you can get the project, no problem. That's fine. Also, if you actually have problems with the project and it's not like a bug, you're pretty much probably going to be on your own. But it's not that complicated of a little thing. I actually put it as simple as I could. Now, this project will have a editor, free scripts and stuff for you, so you'll have no problem with it. You'll just be able to open it up. But let me show you what this does. Now, in our little hearts here, we've got our hearts that's we can damage and take away, add health, okay, and then we're dead, and we've got full health, okay, and these buttons right here, this is an editor script that will be included in the download for that link, by the way, and if the link doesn't work, it's probably because I didn't like it and it's just stupid. So now, what this does is this is a canvas component. Canvas, regular canvas, rec. It's just a panel. I took the image and turned it off because I wanted to see what the image and stuff like that is for. So when I don't have something in the pool, like this, I can see where the hearts will start. I initialize it, boom. Now, if you see this dead pool right here, this is an object that I'm using to have the hearts under it, okay? Because it's kind of, kind of dumb to have game objects that's just floating around in the hierarchy. It's messy looking. I don't like it, so I went and put a game object that will take care of that stuff. That's all it does is go right below, and there you go. So full hearts, it's empty and everything, so it's cool. But when I go here and want to add or anything, I've got buttons to it. There's callbacks that are publicly available throughout the script for this. That's why I'm allowed to use a script like this. But you're probably going to have to, in your game, you're going to probably want to change it up a little bit, make things more private, things like that. Not that big of a deal, but, some people like private stuff, some people like public. I mean, it's all in your little forte, right? So, let's take a look at these scripts, by the way. And let me enlarge this a little and bring it up. See, a lot of times when I am coding and things, I actually have it half and half. I have a web browser open for music and all that cool stuff, and then it's just basically like this, okay? It looks exactly like that when it's a half and half job. Okay, looks kind of funky on the OBS, but if you ever want to get like half, take your bar right here and drag it over to the side of the screen. It'll make a half and half screen, so you can have like just it's just a workflow thing. That's all. But here is the script. Now you're probably looking at it and you're like, there is some crazy stuff going on here, and I don't know what to do. That's fine. It's fine. That's one reason why I'm like, it's applied to you. You know, you get a link, so you'll get it for the exact script type, the exact way, and it'll be fine. Now, before we get too far, I've got this in a namespace because I didn't want, you know, Healthbar, you know, that whole thing. When I go to type, the AdSense or census thing will tell me, hey, do you want this version, this version, this version, this version? It gets kind of annoying after a while. So I put it in a namespace. That way it doesn't pop up unless I actually want it to in other scripts. Okay. I got Healthbar, mono behavior, and I got this interface right here, Healthbar. All this is for two functions right here. I wanted to make sure that these two functions exist and they're public. They take integers, and you know, enough to mention if I ever want to like access them from another script and do something, I've got a way. Now, we've got two transforms. This one, you do not have to worry about too much because we instantiate this at runtime. Okay? But, transform, not that big of a deal. Transform, you're like, oh, why do you have two? One's for the current ones, and then one is for the dead ones. That's it. And then you're like, pool icons. Whoa, this has got object pooling in it. Yeah, it's got a little bit of object pooling because it's actually quite useful for this. But before, yeah, actually, let's take a look at it. Why not, right? Object pool. Okay, we got a prefab. Then we got an initial amount. We've got this property right here. Now, this property is because I don't want the count, this list, to be public. We don't need it to be public. All we need is the length of it. Okay, that's it. So, return value of a property, return count. This is very, very quick. This is very, 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 very super quick, and it keeps us from, you know, being dumb and setting the property someplace else when we don't need to. Because we can set a maximum that the player can have, and then let a health script take care of like how many it has on screen and stuff. No big deal. We have an initial, which takes a transform. We take and pass it a transform, and all it does is add it to those transforms. That's it. So basically, it takes, instantiates all the prefabs that we need, sets it to the parent of this one that gets passed in, and then adds it to the list. Because we have to iterate through the list and all that good stuff. Now, a public transform get pool, and we pass it a transform. Now, the reason for this is we're going to do an iteration. Okay, this is an iteration, a for loop. We're going to go through all of them. And we are basically comparing the pooled object to this one. If it does not equal it, we go and return this. And it breaks out of this loop. Okay? And if none of this stuff works, we return null. Here's another function that works and all that stuff. It's basically a destroy, okay, for the editor only. This is for the Unity editor don't use this at runtime. It at runtime. It will throw a error because, if I can spell it right, Unity doesn't allow destroy immediate at runtime. But in the editor, Unity, when not playing, throws a error for destroy, which kind of makes it kind of dumb. Okay, I'm not exactly, well, the destroy immediate thing is for the Unity editor. Okay, the only time you ever get to call it, if you call it destroy immediate at runtime, it'll, you know, when you're actually playing your build, or even in the editor when you got the little play button down, it will throw an error and it does not like it. It goes and tells you to use destroy. Now I could do an if-else statement or something like that to get around that, but the only place you should call this is in the editor. So why should I make stuff to go away from the editor and one at runtime when this is an editor function only? Makes no sense. And we clear the pool. We clear the list because we want to get all the nulls out. No nulls. And that's pretty much the pool. I mean, it's not like super complicated. Everybody, oh, this is so complicated. Why do this? No, it's not. Don't even let them sit there and tell you it's complicated. It's not. Okay? And in this pool, this pooling script, we do not disable the game object, because disabling and re-enabling the game object is pointless. Okay? And this is what I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to demonstrate why. Okay? We've got this right here. We're going to go at, well, I could probably do it at runtime or any other time. No. We've got to do it at runtime because of me having this thing. So we're going to initialize this pool. Okay? Actually, we can put full. Clear? Why is it there? Oh, it's because it throws... Yeah. Okay. It'll do funky stuff if you... But anyway, we'll initialize the pool. You see how these hearts and everything else are here? Let's get rid of this image. Okay. We've got what? Let's make it down to 1. Okay? Down to 1. Oh, this is a good example. Anyway, so let's canvas this. Let's lock this here, and we're going to damage it down to 3 or 2. 2 works. Now, if you notice, these are still active. They're lit up. They're still active. If I go and parent this object over to the dead pool, we no longer see it on the screen, right? But if I go up here and just drag it to the panel, it starts working, right? But they're not disabled or enabled. This is just me dragging them on here. And yeah. So when these images from the canvas are not parented to a canvas, they don't render. They're just game objects that do absolutely nothing. They have to be parented to a canvas object. So these are just in memory, just in the background going, hey, I can't be rendered. And that's it. So if you actually go into the profiler and start profiling it, there is an active game object call. This call can be pricey if you're doing a bunch of them, but at the same time, it's needed for object pooling. It's not much. I mean, you could probably do 1,000 at a time, and you probably would finally see. But the whole point of it is if I disable it right now, I have to enable it. Secondly, this panel has a horizontal layout group. If I disable one of these objects, let's try the first one right here. Watch what happens. Oh, it won't, will it? That's interesting. That never used to do that. When did they fix that? That's a crock. See, in the older version of it, when you disabled a game object, like let's say in the middle, it wouldn't reshuffle this. It would stay right there and have a missing thing. And that really sucks. Because then you're like, well, fix it. But you can't because, you have to parent it to null or something. I may have went with a different direction if I knew they fixed that part. It used to do it. It was really a pain in the butt. If I could do enable and disable, that would make us a lot easier. But it still works as intended. So let's go back to code. Alright, bring up my screen. There we go. So when we go to damage, all I'm doing is looping through, and if the count of the child is greater than 0, because I've always got this check in here, because if it's 0 and I try to get a child, it'll throw an error. Okay, that's all there is. This clear pool is to tell the pooler to despawn and immediately destroy the game object that's there. But like I said, this is mostly a editor script and not needed for runtime. Okay, damage. Okay, take the transform, get a child, and then set it to dead. I just grab the first one, okay, which is the very, very top. I don't go for the last or anything like that, because then it would be a lookup or anything like that. And we don't need to do a lookup. We just need to get the first child. And the rest will be taken care of by a layout group. No big deal. And we just parent it to the dead. And that's damage. And I pass in 1 on the editor script, but you can pass in any amount that you want. Okay? You could pass in 1,000 here, and it still wouldn't matter. It'll loop 1,000 times, but it'll be super quick. And if these doesn't have any children, it won't call this function anyway. Okay, add full bar just goes and adds the entire count. Let's see, this is an example of the whole thing. Pool.count. Okay, that's the entire length of our list in our pooler. So everything that's in the pooler will be added to the health bar. Damage. Dead. See the point? So adding to the health bar, we just go get something from the pooler and parent it to the parent transform. Okay, then new health dot set parent, boom. But if new health does not equal null, we do this. If some reason the new health is null coming from the pooler, which it can be, if it doesn't have anything in the pool that's on the dead pool object, the dead part, then it'll return null. Okay, and you'll see that right here, this right here. So if this condition is never met, then it'll go null. If you want to see in the inspector, you have to make it serializable. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is one big script anyway. This is all in the script. All of it. Damage. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Then add. We go pooler.getPool because it's a public function, which you see right here. And we pass it a transform. It's because that comparison right there. That's all. If it does not equal this, then we return this. Null. That's it. The initials to instantiate the objects that we need. But the amount you'll see in the inspector. But like I said, I didn't want this to be public at all. Because it doesn't need to be. We can just do a property. Boom. It has no set function. Okay? That's probably what Unity does for list. Or, various other things. You're just getting a property. And that's pretty much it. The start function for this just names the toDead to dead pool. And, it creates it for us. So we never have to really worry. Now, the editor script. The editor. Oh, it's very easy. It's a health type. Okay, and we're telling Unity to, do its default thing. And then we're just adding buttons. Add button. We do this. Manager.add health bar. We only pass one. Because that's all we need. We just need to call the function damage, which is all public functions that are in the script. Clear pool. It's all here. Full bar. Full bar. And that's it. It's that easy, guys. And like I said, very, very easy. And see how I had to use this namespace? It's so I didn't have access to it until I added it. Cosmetic thing. This doesn't need to work, but this needs to be here. And, it's pretty easy. We're just communicating between the two scripts. Simple as can be. Now, remember what I said. The link for this project is down below. It will be a little short link. Remember, it does have a little ad that it'll play. And the only reason I'm trying this is to make sure that the channel makes some revenue. That way we can get a website and all that cool stuff later on. Secondly, it helps the channel grow. And thirdly, you get it for free. So everybody wins. So love you guys and take care and peace out. Remember, the link for this is below, and thank you very much for watching. This is War, over and out.